Hi guys, it's Blackie and welcome back to the channel. Okay, today I want to give you over the past, what now, going on 20 years, 2028 will be 20 years I've been doing these videos. So I'm 5 years away, so I'm at least 15, so 15 years. I have had this question pop up on countless times from people, from various sources, reasons, whatever. And it boils down to this basically. Blackie, what is your take on ultralight gear? I need to lighten the weight. I want to go a little lighter. I want to lose the weight. I want to lose the weight. Wait. I hear this a lot. Okay? Therefore, let's address this. I did ultralight backpacking back in the 80s, or what was it passed for it back in them days. I started out using military surplus gear, as I mentioned, which was not light, but extremely durable. And in many ways, that spoiled me. I'll just tell you straight up. Because the ultralight backpacks that I ended up getting, many of them were name brands, big name brands, and cost a poor little redneck kid a lot of his summer money of cutting grass and stuff like that to come up with to get a lighter pack. But that simple statement of, oh, I'll just buy ultralight gear and it will, does not completely answer the question. Okay? Let us, as Socrates said, let us discuss what we're going to discuss so that we're on the same page. Okay? Why do you want ultralight gear? And there seems to be two schools of thought. One is, I don't get to go camping that often, I'm not in the greatest of shape, and I don't want to tote a lot of weight to go out there. Okay? And there's the other one. I go on hikes and long distance runs and I'm trying to get more miles in a day. So the less weight I carry, the more miles I can get. Those seem to be the two camps, really, of the ultralight. I don't want to tote the weight, or I'm trying to get more range. And so I want to tote less weight so I got more endurance for longer range. Let's address the second one first. Those of you that are interested in ultralight gear, absolutely gossamer thin Dyneema packs and stuff like that, because you're basically a long distance runner is what you really are. You may be hiking, but you're trying to do time, distance, etc. And your focus is doing this trail and beating your best time before. You're a runner. Yeah, go with the ultralight gear. I can see where that's coming from. Tote bare minimum gear and go with it, and you're trying to beat your time, less encumbered, and etc. I can truly see that. And I have had friends that were in that realm of it, and for an old redneck like me, they were lousy traveling companions, because they were, come on, let's go, we gotta go, we gotta make the miles. And I was wanting to see nature, you know. I'm wanting to stop on that overlook and spend 20-30 minutes just taking in the beauty. You know, I wanted to see something interesting and stop and investigate it a little bit. They don't. They want to, you know, let's go. And I understood that. And when you asked them this section of the Appalachian Trail, oh, I did that in 19 hours and 34 minutes. I beat my best time by 4. They don't remember a thing about it. I say, okay, what did you see? Blank. All they remember is the ground. Because they're making time. Now, I'm not trying to badmouth them. This is how they find fulfillment and enjoyment. And so, therefore, let them do it. Enjoy it. You know. And so, yes, the ultralight gear is very much something for them. Yes, I can see that. Because of what they're doing. Now, let's address the first one. Blackie, I don't camp that much. I'm not in great shape. And I just don't want to tote that much weight if I can avoid it. Okay, this is really the most practical of the two, really. Because I really consider the long distance runner, hiker, speed hiker to be in the running category and not in the camping, hiking, woods category. It's just, they're just running a marathon, they're just doing it in pine trees instead of on a city street. So you're on a track. So let us say that the person that's not in the greatest shape and they're trying to thin down. Okay, well, let's work with that a minute. The first thing is, do not compromise the quality of the important gear. Okay? If you're going to be buying, buy once, cry once, get the best gear you can afford in something durable. So I recommend your haversack, your rucksack be of good quality. Okay? Look more for longevity and quality than necessarily how much it weighs. That's going to pay you in the long run. Okay? Next, focus your time in the field. I am going to go to this area I've been to before. I'm going to do, for this experiment, a compass hike in, where I'm going to start at a given place, and I'm not going to be completely following a trail. I'm going to be using hunks of trail and cutting through the woods to make my own path from point A to my destination, a campsite that I have found somewhere that's off the beaten path but I really like. Okay? So what am I going to be carrying? Well, I'm going to need to be carrying my navigation stuff, right? My other camping stuff, right? Well, I can lighten down the load by what I'm not going to need. Now, never compromise on your emergency gear. But you can, let's stick with the navigation for just a moment. You can lighten stuff down. So, let's look at that for just a second. This is a Caminga type compass. Okay? Pretty good size, fairly good weight to it. Does a great job. I'm going to need to do not truly precise navigation because I'm going from big course landmarks. From this trailhead, I'm cutting across till I hit this stream, follow the stream down till I reach this point, head to that. So I've got landmarks. So I don't need quite the precision I could get out of this. I can dull that down a little bit. So I can leave that weight. This lighter compass, which is a silver, is the one I usually use for my land nav. It's got my pacing beads and everything on it. It doesn't weigh hardly anything, but it is still a bit bulky. Do I need this for this application? Actually, no, because I'm going from fixed points and I've been here before. And so I just need to make sure I can kind of stay on a given course. So I could replace this, now the pacing beads I'd probably need, but I could replace this with something even smaller. And I got to give credit to this to Dave Canterbury. He recently did a video where he was talking about using a wrist compass that goes onto a watch and utilizing it as a backup or this type of real course navigation. Well, I don't need a lot, right? I'm just trying to hit big landmarks, so it's not going to be truly deep type stuff. And when I saw that, I got to thinking, man, I've got one of them. I had it for God knows how many years. Let me go see if I can dig it out. And I got looking for it and figured out that I didn't have it. I think I gave it away to a little one at one of the events. I seem to recall I used to have it on a knife sheath, and I seem to recall that a little one was around and wanted a compass, and I gave him that compass. So I went back to look, and it's the Sun Company, S-U-N. Well, when I got to look at them, I found that. That is a itty-bitty base plate compass with a movable bezel ring and a direction arrow on it. Doing the same job as this much bigger base plate compass and weighs nothing, right? So there's one way that I can reduce my weight. Instead of toting this, which is greatly precise, but for this application I will not need it, I can carry this, because all I'm going to be doing is the bezel ring is movable and it's in 5-degree increments. So it's 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 5. So I can't do precise, but all I'm doing is hitting in a given direction. Keep going east, keep going whatever. So I can turn this and put the needle in the doghouse, and it's a fully bubble-filled, made in the USA compass. Now I know you're going to ask, Blackie, where'd you get it? I got it off Amazon. It's called the Mini Comp 2 right there. It comes with a little lanyard you can put onto it, and even on the back it gives you instructions on how to use a compass. There's the barcode for those of you looking. But this would be great for you guys that want to do knife kits. You know, there's things that go on, the little patch on the side of your knife. You want some small survival kit in, one of these would be real nice for that. So I have reduced down from that down to this. Okay? My map. Map don't weigh nothing. But it is big and bulky now, ain't it? This is my topo map. How much of this topo map am I going to be needing on this adventure? Well, actually, Blackie, you're actually only going to need that section right there. That's your starting points right there, and that's where you're going to, right there. Yeah. That's where your starting point is, and so everything's going to be right there. Those of you that have home scanner printers, why not take this big old map, once you figure out what it is, go ahead and take a pencil and mark out your plan thing with all your stuff, or you don't got to yet. Lay this on your computer thing and scan it and make a color copy of this so you've got all the colors and the things. And just have this front page, that piece right there. See, I have dropped from this down to a single little piece of paper. Okay? Each step is about, what do I really need? This is all I really need, well, then that's what I'm going to carry. I don't need the whole, I ain't going to throw the rest of it away, But I don't need it for this trip. Lighten the load. Now, my bushcraft knife. Is this adventure, I know you're going to ask, stitchgear.com 6-way sheath. I got the fire steel from there too, and this is a William Collins WC Blackbird. Okay, I know you're going to ask. And Randy makes the straps now too. So, this knife, am I going to do bushcraft? What is this trip for? I'm going down to the lake and I'm going to pitch my hammock up, enjoy the lake, and I'm going to carry my pocket fishing kit, and it's really a fishing trip. Other than building a fire and maybe whittling a little bit, do I need this on this trip? I mean, I'm going to go without a blade, but do I need this? No. Can I lighten my load and my bulk and go down to a smaller, lighter knife for this camp out? This is a Outlaw, Tony Powers from Dirtbound. Okay, can I go with this? Yeah, because all I'm going to do is basically, make a little fire, little light stuff. Will I be carrying my EDC on me of my Fieldmaster Victorinox? Yes. Okay. Do I even need this? Well, I'd feel better with it. Okay. Could I go down to just a small Mora if I ain't even going to be doing this? Well, I am going to need something. Maybe I might have to cut a fish or whatever. Okay, so I do want to carry some light, small knife, because that's not the focus of this thing. I'm going fishing. It's relaxation. So I've reduced down what I'm carrying in my navigation gear. I've reduced down what I'm carrying in here. Cook set. Do I need a great big cook set? Well, no, I'm just going to be doing this and this. Okay. How about my titanium set right there? That's a stove, a cup. I can put a few extra little foods inside of it, and I got a little Trangia stove in it. Would that be enough? Well, yeah. So I've reduced even further. You see what I'm saying? Ultralight is merely saying, strip down to the bare bones, what do you really need? Say, for those of us that are just trying to reduce the weight. Now, over time, you're going to acquire gear. Buy the best gear you can afford, especially the gear you're going to use a lot. Okay? So like, this is my tried and true bushcraft knife. You know, if we're doing stuff, I'm going to be doing bushcraft, I'm going to be carrying this knife. I carry this knife hunting, I carry this knife in other things because I want to have this knife in the field. I'm carrying it right now on the strap, but the strap comes off and there's 6 different ways to wear this knife. It gives me the maximum versatility, see? And so with this knife, I can take care of just about any problem, anything I'm going to encounter out in the field, from building fire, stripping bark, cleaning fish, gutting, whatever. See? I may want to carry it. I want to do a lighter knife. What is the purpose of the camp out? Plug in the gear needed for it and don't start adding in extras. In a video not long ago, I talked about how all of my cordage, okay, this is all of my lines and etc. that I've got pre-made up in here for all of my cordage. Will I need that on this adventure? Can I reduce it down a little bit? I'm going to need some, and I want a comfort cushion. But do I need all of it? See? And you pull out what you really need and put in your set. Then you take your haversack or your rucksack or whatever and you put into it. Now, do I even need my rucksack? Because my hammock, I have this big, which is a one wind 11-foot double wide with mosquito net, about that big around, about that big. Looks like a folded up sleeping bag hammock. I have a tarp that I carry that completely encloses that. Do I need it on this trip? Well, the weather's not going to be bad, and I can get by. The mosquitoes ain't real bad right now. I can get by with better and still be comfortable. Okay, so instead of this big bulky, I reduce it down to this. This is the One Wind Ultralight. That's the suspension straps, and right there is the hammock. And it's got a good support system and a ridge line in it, a ditty bag in it for hanging your stuff up, etc. This and the tarp I carry as part of my haversack will set me up a camp. Is the mosquitoes bad enough, or are they going to drive me nuts? If I bring mosquito repellent, or do I need a mosquito net? You got to answer that question based on your current conditions. If it's cool, the night's going to be in the upper 50s or 60s, and I'm only going to need this, going to need that, and I can get by with this, and I can take that. I might be able to run with just a haversack, because as I've shown in other videos, since Blackbird's strap comes off, unhooks I should say, and straighten out, I can roll around one half of the strap right here a blanket or a woobie or even a small light sleeping bag onto this, roll it around it tight and hook it, and to be able to put the bag on and have that set up against my back. So back here would be back there against my back. So I'd have a hammock, a tarp, a sleeping bag, a little bit of food, and a little bit of light gear in here. I could get away, and I have done this, with like an overnighter with just a haversack and a few accessories. See? I'm keeping my weight down by what I'm going to do. And I love to see, a lot of times people will do layouts, gear layouts, and they'll post them on social media, etc. And it's very interesting to me what people carry, especially because I did that in the past. I went way overboard. I remember one individual, I looked at his layout he did where he laid out everything he'd taken on this camp out. There were 11 knives. Fantastic. What were you doing with so many knives? Are you doing spoon carvings or what are we trying to make out there? No, he just wanted to carry 11 knives. He's a big knife nut. And he likes to play with his knives ways out there. Yeah, okay, cool. You know, go right ahead. But that's a lot of steel to be packing. But not if you're going out there just to play with your knives. Just to whittle, just to make dingle sticks and camp projects. Go right ahead. Do I need a kukri? Do I need a saw? Do I need a hatchet or an axe on this encounter? That will adjust what my other gear is. See? So instead of saying, Blackie, do I need to get into ultralight? The more correct question is, how do I focus my gear to represent my camping needs for this particular camping trip? Always have a safety degree. I would never go out with only one knife. That'd always be two. If it was nothing else, my pocket knife as the backup to my belt knife. If I'm toting my kukri, because I'm going to need to bust up firewood or I'm going to need to build X. Okay, I may want to leave the belt knife, and my Swiss Army knife will handle the small detail work, and the kukri will handle the big cutting and the big chopping. See? So I can plug that in. Ditto on carrying a small axe or saw or whatever. What is your need? Plug in the gear for it. We tend to get into this mindset, guilty I was, I'll tell you straight up, of I want to put all my gear in my bag. So that when I came out to go on the camping trip on Saturday morning and I opened up the closet and I pulled out my pack and slung it up on my shoulder, I knew everything was in that pack. All I needed was to add a little bit of food and water, and I was ready to go. And I was toting 80-pound packs. Yeah. Because I was carrying way, way, way too much gear. If you don't need it, why carry it? I know the mindset is, but what if that's what if, okay? I put that right up there with the same thing of what if you've lost everything, how do you do this? It's pretty rare for me to lose everything. My knife is going to be hooked to my belt and attached to my body. You know, if I lose that, I'm in a critical care unit somewhere. Because things got broke on me real easy, you know. And again, I'm not trying to badmouth anybody. I just want you to see the focus of it. Of take each set, each group of gear that's going to be utilized and neck it down. Now I've got a nice large fire kit, okay? And I know you're going to ask, this is the fire kit that it's waxed canvas to make it near about waterproof by StitchGear.com. Randy Smith makes these. Okay, in here I've got a Bic lighter, I've got UKO matches, I've got a fire set, I've got another type of lighter. I've got at least 3 sources of ignition and 3 sources of tinder, 2 of which can work wet in each class. So that's a nice pick. Now, do I want to skimp down on this? See, man, that's my go-to right there. Well, probably not. Even though I'm lightening the load, I want to make sure of that. So I'm not going to skimp on the stuff that really matters, like changing from a good durable haversack going to something a whole lot lighter and thinner and may not hold up. See, it might hold up for this adventure. Might. You know. I knew a lady that she used shopping bags. That's what she used. She just wrapped them up and took a string around, rolled them down as tight like this, and then bundled them up, and then she took an old belt and tied them to the belt and put them dangling across her shoulder, down her back like a bandolier. And that's how she went camping. You know, using those see-through Walmart type bags. That's how she camped. Super, super light. Okay, it works for her. But I bet she's had quite a few broke backs. So, if you're, in conclusion, if you're a distance person, you're not interested in seeing the nature, I'm interested in getting the territory. You know, I want to beat my personal best. Absolutely. Fantastic. I really recommend you focus on the ultralight gear and doing all the tips and tricks to limit your weight as much as possible. My friend that was so big into it, he would not even tote food because he knew he could go 3 days without eating. So he didn't tote food. He just toted the ability to get water, transport water, and packages of electrolytes and Gatorade and stuff like that. That was it. He didn't plan on eating those 3 days because that would slow him up. He wanted miles. See, stay extreme hydrated. He would start at dawn. He would go until he couldn't see anymore. Then he would throw up his hammock, slide into it, be absolutely exhausted, go to sleep, be up before sun up, ready to go. And at first light where he could see to go, he was already on the trail making trail because he wanted to run a 100-mile section of a trail like the Appalachian Trail. He wanted to do 100 miles in 3 days. 30-something miles a day on foot. He was a long-distance runner. I mean, you're doing more than a marathon every day. And it frustrated him that he couldn't do it in 3 days. You know, I know I can get it down to 72 hours. I know I can get it in less than 72 hours. You know, doing 12, 16-hour days. You know, he just running more than anything else. But his pack was this little bitty light thing that didn't weigh anything. And it was really just someplace to crash and sleep and carry water. That was it. He didn't even carry a knife. He didn't even carry nothing. He even wouldn't even carry his cell phone. He carried a little bitty plastic battery-powered alarm clock about that big. That's all he carried. He was always scaling down. Lighter, 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 lighter. That's his fascination. And I wish him all the luck in the world, and I hope he enjoys himself. I really do. Those of us that go out there to enjoy nature can carry a little bit more weight. You can lower the weight of your gear based on what you need for this encounter. If I've got a really good compass and etc., and this is these are expensive, they're very good, they work very, very well, and they're down into mils, which means they're very, very accurate. And if you're doing geocaching or things like that, you're going to need something like that. On the other hand, if I'm just going real coarse stuff, this was like $10 off of Amazon for this little bitty base plate compass. This will work just fine for that kind of really coarse navigation. So I can save weight, same time, save some money. Say $70-something compass, $10 compass. 2 different jobs now. If we're going out, we're doing geocaching, or we're going into deep wilderness where we got to be precise, yeah, the heavier gear comes out. The bigger map comes out, etc., because I may need that. Okay? Ultralight is a state of mind, not gear. Determine what your needs are, plug in the gear, that you have to fit those needs with nothing else. Then find where you can lighten up on those items a little bit, but do not compromise on quality, longevity. Okay? That's my advice on the ultralight idea. Get out there and enjoy it. Nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong, but get out there and enjoy it. Hope you've enjoyed this, guys. If you have, please leave any questions or comments down there. I'd really appreciate it. Till next time, guys, I'm Blackie, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.